Parker High Vibration Foundation, thank you very much for joining me. I wanted to do a little something different today. I wanted to show you and give you some insight into what I eat and what I have for meals and stuff during the day. Just to give you, at the very least, maybe some ideas. A lot of people say, hey, you look younger than you actually are, or you have a lot more energy. I don't take any medications, and I'm 47 years old. And I used to take a lot of medications, and what do? So, I'm going to show you. Okay, Glenn in the background. So, damn, that's a lot of stuff. Now that I just put it all up there. So, let's give you a guided tour. So, I brush my teeth with the sea salt solution. It has rosemary and mint and some other things. I find that really good at cleaning the teeth. They used to use sea salt and baking soda to clean your teeth. There's no fluoride, no crap in there. So I found that to be really good. It's only like $4 or $5 online. And I also take 4 drops of the iodine solution a day, the 2%, which is equivalent to 5 drops a day. And then like the hemp protein that you see here in the raw meal, and the hemp protein underneath, that's golden flaxseed oil from, I forgot the name of the brand. And you have the raw meal and the sea salt. And Bashar's recommendation on MSM and vitamin C, I'd have the combination of that. This has minerals in it as well, but it's a buffered vitamin C, so it's more of a neutral pH. It has a ton of minerals in it as well. So I like this one. And so I take between, 6 to 10,000 milligrams of the MSM a day, and I think equivalent in my diet is about 6 or 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, throughout the day. And I take 1 or 2 of these a day because they have just an epic amount of stuff in them. And I find when I was taking these originally, they help regulate my breathing when I had trouble with breathing and oxygenation. And they actually restore the color in my hair. They have a lot of copper and stuff in them. And then I take 50 milligrams of DHEA, and this is the 400 milligrams. I take 2 or 3 of these a day. I find that really softens the skin. It's really great for blood pressure. And I take 2 of those a day, the 50 milligrams of zinc, and 1 or 2 of those of the selenium. If I take the higher doses, if I feel like I have a cold or something, and I take higher doses of the iodine solution, then I'll take more of the selenium because it keeps from hydrogen peroxide building up in the blood. In my shake today, well, let's see. This is some Soleil, which this is Himalayan sea salt that's been melted down and let sit in there. That actually is really good for yeast and adding minerals in. I'm very intolerant to salt, so I don't use that very often. But if I feel a little yeasty, or I do a lot of exercise, or if I'm outside in the heat quite a bit, it's hot here in Vegas, then I will go ahead and add some of that to my shake just to put some colloidal minerals back in. Now this is redox signaling molecules. It's called ASEA. That signals the immune system. I usually don't use that very often. Maybe a couple drops here and there throughout the day. I use that for my eye, actually. I put them directly in my eye. It's not recommended to do that, but it takes all the bloodshot out. It's pure, kicks up pure glutathione in the blood, and I noticed that since I've used that, I no longer need glasses or to do anything, like the eye exercises and stuff like that. Now this is some traditional Chinese medicine. That's a reishi tea, and I buy the raw root from China in bulk, and I put it in the blender, and I try to use plastic for everything. This is a metal spoon. But I do try to use plastic for everything. That's why you see the plastic spoons everywhere, because a lot of the metal interacts with things, and it gets a lot of transference, and you don't know what's in a lot of the metals. They mix so much stuff in there nowadays. So that's what the shake looks like. There's 2.5 apples, different types of apples. There's a lemon and a couple lemon peels. There is some organic greens. There's kale in this one. Sometimes it's spinach. Sometimes it's a mix, like a spring mix. There's also some organic oregano and some organic sage in there because they're antibacterials and immune system builders. and they do clean out all kinds of good stuff in the organs. This is the only non-organic item because last time I went I couldn't find any organic ones, so I ordered some, like the powder, but I usually put one of the roots in there as well. So we have some of that, and that's what it looks like. And you know, honestly, it's not bad. There's some hemp seed protein in there. There's the flaxseed meal, the golden flaxseed meal. A little of that. I didn't put any raw meal in today. I tried to mix it up. And then I'll have some of the coconut oil afterward. It's contrary to yeast. It just tears it apart. There's an acid in there. So with the apples, you get malic acid, and you're getting pectin to be able to chelate heavy metals, and you know, you're getting just all kinds of things. And I add like the proteins because they have some fat in there as well in the hemp seed oil, so that you get some fat to bind to the sugar. Well, there's not much sugar in here. This is mostly bitters. So there's no oranges, there's no bananas, there's nothing sweet in this one, so that it doesn't have any yeast arousal. But you know, you can put whatever you want in there. I just find that personally I feel better because you know, I have an intolerance to sugary things and to sweets, that this is really good for pH in my case. So that's just a short overview of what's in there. Oh, and the D-ribose. You know, there's like at least 200 to 500 milligrams in each one, and that's can be used as a substitute for sweetener as well if you want to put something sweet in your tea, because that's pure energy. If you use CoQ10 and D-ribose and L-carnitine, which there's some L-carnitine in the vitamin, and there's some L-carnitine in the raw meal, if I remember right. If you use those in combination, that's called metabolic cardiology. There's a book out from a very prominent doctor. That's what I use to get off my heart medications, is you know, replacing ATP support and glutathione acceleration to be able to get energy out of the cells and better transference. So the D-ribose I'm a big fan of, big fan of, especially if you like to exercise, or even before sex and stuff like that is great, just to have that little extra punch of energy. And then the CoQ10 is great for the skin. I think that's why my skin looks a lot younger. Great for building elastin and some of these other things that go on in the skin. So I just wanted to, you know, here's the epic amount of stuff that Glenn does. You know, that's kind of breakfast basically. So that's what my morning entails, and I'll have that whole shake. That thing was pretty much full, and I'll have all of that in volume. And I'm estimating, I'm guessing from what I did on my calorie counts, that's between like 350 and 450 calories, depending on what I put in there. Probably more toward the 300s, maybe even lower 300s, because you know, the greens and the powder and the apples, I mean, they really don't equate to much. Now the bananas and the oranges and all that, they add up a lot faster, so you got to watch those when you start adding those if you're counting your calories. So but that's a great breakfast. It lasts for a long time. Let me tell you, that is an anti-aging, crazy anti-aging thing that's going on. Now I will add, you know, some fresh garlic. I didn't add any today because I plan on playing kissy face with somebody a little later today, and I didn't want to offend them, and because they've already mentioned before, it's like, dude, you need to cut down on the garlic, because I was doing a detox shake and I put like 3 or 4 of these big elephant ones in there, not the whole clove, but like, you know, not the whole thing, but like one of these bigger cloves. I put 2 or 3 of those in there, and they're like, dude, you need to, you know, I love seeing you, but you need to cut down on the garlic. And that's all I'm going to say. So I didn't put any in there today for that reason. I probably put some in there tonight before bedtime. But that's great for the liver, and it's an antibacterial, and yeast hates it, and it's also uptake for, especially for men and for women, for hormone support, for sex drive. So there you have it, boys and girls. Epic amount of stuff being taken, and I think that's all good. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any questions, message, and please like and share and subscribe. I just wanted to add one last thing. You know, I'm not a doctor, and I am not, you know, giving any kind of advice as far as health and nutrition. I'm just showing you what I do and what has been working for me. You know, I highly recommend naturopaths personally. They're very well trained, they're highly educated, and they are centrally focused on nutrition, and, you know, not having to throw placebos or stopgap measures at you. Meaning if you have high blood pressure, if you have high cholesterol, then there's something, there's an external issue. You know, you're not eating, or, you know, you have toxicity, or there's something going on. You know, the medication should be a temporary measure until you can correct your diet and get things back on track. Well, doctors will just, they think it is a permanent measure, and they don't mind you progressing into higher and higher medication. So I'm just saying, if you do have interest in these types of things, I know a couple naturopaths in different areas on the East Coast and the West Coast. So I'm always happy to give suggestions and referrals. Thank you very much. Love and light, and have a fantastic day.